I've always loved spy thrillers, but ever since Glasnost in Russia, they've gone slightly out of fashion. Now, thanks to Mr. Putin, they're coming way back in. And I think one of the finest current writers in the field of the spy fiction thriller is Charles Cumming. Welcome to the Author's Studio.
Keep showing up. Have a routine and try to write every day, even if for a large part of that day nothing comes out. I think if you sit at the desk long enough, something will happen, and then you can go home and have a gin and tonic. I'm very proud of A Divided Spy, the new book. There's a toss-up between that and Typhoon, my novel set in China. A vodka martini. Stirred, shaken, I don't care which, but dry with a twist. I love a vodka martini. I think it's very important to get out of my flat, so I always try to leave, and I have an office that I rent in somebody's bedroom in West London, and it's a sort of feeling of being seen to go in and kind of clocking in, and that there's a workspace. I think if I stay at home in my pajamas, I just watch the cricket or play online chess or something and never get anything done, so I go to an office. I'm very slow in the mornings. Really, it takes me a long time to sort of get into gear, so a lot of coffee and just a lot of faffing around, and then I'm good to go. I think I always felt that I could write. I could put sentences together. I could always express myself at school, and I was writing stories at school and passing exams, I think, because I was able to sort of be fluent on paper. And I was given a lot of encouragement by my father and by teachers. I just always felt in my bones that it was something that I could do. And then I had this experience with MI6, and it sort of fell into my lap, and there was a story to be told, and I told it. I know that Robert Harris has a sort of snooker table apparently with post-it notes all over it with all of the sort of beats of his story. I don't do that. I have a sort of general idea of the arc of where my character is going to come from and where he's going to end up, and various things will happen along the way. But quite often, inspiration will strike, 24 hours before I write a sequence. So I leave wiggle room for the strangeness of the creative imagination. Where do you get your ideas from? I think all authors hate being asked that. Everywhere, from reading, from traveling, from talking to people, from not doing very much. Sometimes things just sort of fire while you're in the supermarket checkout queue. It's a very odd thing where they come from, and you've got to have a pen to hand or an iPhone. My iPhone Notes is filled with gobbledygook and ideas that strike at 3 o'clock in the morning. God, I think I have been lucky in that respect, that I haven't had a T. Lawrence on the Train job where he lost the whole first draft of 7 Pillars of Wisdom and had to start writing it all again. I've never had that, and I'm very conscientious about backing up and sending drafts to another email account and Dropbox and all the rest of it. And I really try to look after it, because it's not coming again if I have to recreate it. I just know that I wouldn't be able to do it. Unquestionably, it would be The Spy Who Came In From the Cold, the John le Carré novel. When I had my very early experience when I was 25 with MI6, I then became fascinated by that world and started to read a lot of le Carré, and that was the first, and I think still is the best sort of pure thriller that le Carré ever wrote. It's just a beautiful construct.
Thank you, Charles Cumming. Great to spy you in the Author's Studio.